Yo, if you want that sound, listen up right. Shredbox Customs, take your game to new heights. Bass hitting hard, treble smooth as silk. Trust me when I say it's the cream of the...
In this part of the video, we're going to go through everything you've seen previously, the things we bought. Like I told you, you've seen before, this is the $1,500 Amazon build. So everything that I'm getting ready to show you is purchased on Amazon, and as you've seen, I priced everything accordingly at the time it was purchased. The only thing, if you will take notice, the 8s on there was 4 of them. Those were bought a long time ago, but I added them in because you still can buy them, and I don't know the price on them. I just gave you the current price, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to flip you around, and I'm going to show you breakdown from the components to the subs, amps, tools we bought, glue we bought, fasteners, crimps, everything. So we'll go through that next. I'm gonna start with components. We'll go with drivers first, then I will go with power supply and electricity, and then I will go through tools and binding agents. Okay, we're going to start with drivers. Sorry about the lighting in here. It's going to be pretty horrible. I haven't got my new lights in, and I got 2 of my 8-footers burnt out right now, so we'll just start here. So I went with, as you can see right here, these are the NVX V-Series VSP 65 kit. So these, I went with 4 6.5-inch mids drivers. We'll have 4 of the 1-inch silk dome tweeters. This is your component. I'm just going to show you, there's going to be 4 sets of these, just to show you that. I went ahead and bought these grill covers. They were cheap, so you know they'll just sit right over that, just you know, to keep them safe. For our low end, not anything fancy, went with the Scar IX 8D2s, so dual 2 ohm. We'll have 4 of those on the low end. And for drivers, that's going to be it. So we're going to have the 4 subs and the 4 individual sets of components. If you'll go back to the previous video, you'll see I put in a Tramps head unit that's a 4x100. That's what's going to be powering this. So you'll have 4 component sets, each running on 100 watts until I amplify them. So we may do a power acoustic video. That's going pretty viral. All your budget bass heads and everybody is using those right now, so I may do a little bit on one of them. And we'll try that out. All right, we're going to move on further, and we're going to go to our electrical. Moving on to our electrical. So we're going to start off with our down for sound. This is a JP23 Elite 1.5. It's got the good telephone style connector, good bass knob with readouts, with clip, with, you know, so spend a little bit extra on that, but we will never regret that. If you guys haven't seen this, check this out. They're awesome. So moving forward a little bit further, I went ahead and went with Stinger. This is a 0 gauge 2400 watt full setup. We will not be using this. I went ahead and got a 300 amp breaker. We're going to run in line with all that off of the battery system. And then we're going to, just to help the system stay clean, got a 10 farad capacitor from Stinger also that we're going to be running in series with all that. So as far as the electrical goes, 10 farad capacitor from Stinger, 0 gauge Stinger wiring kit, 300 amp breaker, and we're running, like I said, the JP23, and that is going to be it for basically for all of the power. And I do have 2 rolls of 12 gauge. I bought a roll of red and a roll of purple. That's what I'm going to wire everything with. I didn't think it was necessary, but I can show you those if need be. If anything, I'm going to add them on the end so you can see. Okay, so these are, I told you 12, sorry, I got 14. I'm just running this little set. It's 300, and these are 375 watts. 375, so 14 is plenty. I didn't want to have to pull 12, so but I got red for my right channels and purple for my left channels. So if you can think of a color that starts with an L, I'd be glad to use it instead of purple, but as far as I know, I don't know one, unless you call it Lelo, but you know. So that's what I'm going to run from the head unit to the components, and then from the components to the drivers. All right, so got that in there. All right, we're going to go over some tools, and as far as components and stuff like that, I'm going to take you through just, I bought some stuff that I did not have, so we will cover that. I always keep extra zip ties. Now, I did not purchase these on Amazon. Just let me throw it in there. This is what I had, but I would suggest always having zip ties. You can use them for basically everything. For the drivers, these are your large crimp terminals, and these are your small crimp terminals. So if you'll look, I went ahead and took these out. You see one size large and one side is small. That's why I got the two different ones. So they'll be easy to hook up. Now on the tweeter, it doesn't matter because as you can see, the tweeter came with these little spades, which I'm going to just cut off and I'm going to wire them direct. So I won't have to mess with that, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so these, I had to have, what, 6 times 4, 24 of these. Bought them on Amazon. It was like $7, I think, for this whole bag of 100. Automotive store, I think, wanted $8 for like an assortment of these, and they only had like 4 of each size. So goodbye there. Went ahead and splurged a little bit. I bought a new crimp tool since I'm gonna be doing so many of them. If you guys don't know, this is a wire splicer just to speed things up. So I did have something I could use. Let's go over here real quick. Now, don't get me wrong, the Kleins are good, and I usually use these strippers and these, and I use these as my crimpers. It's hard to see, sorry. They work great, but they're very time consuming and they're very cumbersome to try to use, so I want to speed things up a little bit doing this on a big scale. But yeah, so it wasn't a necessary buy, but it will be a good one in the end. Now, one thing I definitely did not have, since I'm doing big wire now, was a, I don't know, lug pliers, I'm going to call them. See if I can zoom in. These are the iCrimps HX 50BI. Well, they're calling them battery cable. Yeah, for battery cable. So anyway, we're getting into big wire, the 0 gauge and stuff. Yes, you need something like this. You're not going to be able to do anything with the other stuff. So another thing I got is, I didn't have any, I got shrink wrap, so I can shrink wrap all of my terminals. Like I said, they're going to be 24 just on the component side. So I want to definitely shrink wrap them. I didn't get the fancy down for sound ones, or sky high audio, but these right here will do the job just fine. Somehow I ordered 2 of them, so I threw them in there because, yeah, I'm a dummy and ordered 2. This did not come from Amazon. So these 3 right here came from Lowe's. It was just easy. I was there. I had to get MDF. So I got 2 of the small ones. I normally get a gallon. And I got a new silicone tool, which is really good. You'll see during the build that I use this a lot, so it's a good tool. So to wrap it up, drivers, electrical, and then I just whatever you want to call this, miscellaneous or just component, but glue, you know, crimpers, terminals, zip ties, and shrink wrap. And none of this includes nails, brad nails, which I will be using to shoot, but we'll go over that when we get there.
In the game, no doubt, no shame. If you want the best audio, Shredbox Customs, it's food for your soul. Loud and proud, let your voice be the king. With that top-notch gear, you can do anything. Step into the booth, let the magic unfold. With Shredbox Customs, a story be told. Crisp clarity, every note feels so alive. This ain't just a sound, it's a whole new vibe. Feel that beat drop, let the world know your name. If you want the best audio, Shredbox Customs, it's food for your soul. Loud and proud, let your voice be the king. With that top-notch gear, you can do anything. So remember the name, it's the best that's around. Shred, cuff strings, let's shake the ground. checker, box customs, let's shake the ground.
Take a second and go over something here. For y'all new builders or anybody that's just, you know, starting or trying to figure out this little project, maybe you want to make one, try dry fitting everything. It's very, very, very crucial, and it will keep you from making big mistakes. So as you can see, all these are just, I'm just got them in place, setting them in here, checking them. Now I'm gonna set my top on. You know what I mean? Flush it up. Check your corners. See there? Both should be flush. You know, here, both should be flush. That's what you want. See, it's a little bit out right there, so we'll have to fix that as we go. When I go to shoot some nails in it, some brads, just to hold it in place, to let the glue dry. You know, we'll do it. And of course, we're going to sand this when it's done. So anything that looks, you know, you don't have to be a perfectionist. Yeah, these are CNC cut parts, but even CNC cut parts, sometimes you got to fight with them, you know. So, and I did cut these on the miter saw, just because my machine, the tabs broke loose on the CNC and ripped them up. So, you know, there you go. See, it's a dry fit. That's what you want to do before you glue anything and get anything ready. I ain't even turned my compressor on. So, what we'll be using here, let's go ahead and show you, I guess. We'll be using Titebond 2 to hold everything together. And then I got a silicone brush to smooth everything out. And this little scraper, you know, to scrape your corners, or if you get a little bit of gunk in there, it'll help you out. So, all right, we'll move forward, but I wanted to add that because to me it's very important to dry fit. And quick update, finally got the glue dried, got the box together. Right now shooting some black primer on it, and that'll be its final color. That's not going to change, so it's giving you a look real quick. I'll bring you along when we start. See how it's soaking it up there? I have to do another coat. I'll bring you along when I start wiring it. That way, you know, if you want to see how to wire it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to bring you along and so you can see. Just have to keep doing it. It's just that MDF soaks up that paint like it's thirsty. So, all right, just keep doing it and let her dry. Put another coat, let it dry until we get it like we want it, and then I will bring you guys along when we decide to, or I decide to get some wires and get it tested. I'm about to do the final little bit of painting here. Just wanted you to see, like, this is where the components will go. So you'll have mid woofer, tweeter, 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 mid woofer, mid woofer. So 2 mid woofers, tweeter, 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 2 mid woofers. Say that 14 times fast, but anyway, that's how she's gonna go. So just wanted to show you before I threw some paint on there. Just got the last coat of paint on. Getting ready to install the components. Just showing you how they're set. They're inside. They set in there. Trying to make it look as clean as I can, and the wires come off and go straight into here. So there really won't be much wire hanging either. So I'm gonna get some wires made up. Get all 16 leads ready. Actually, let's say 24 leads ready, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do those. All right, so painting was done. I showed you, got our placement on here, and all the components are installed. They're screwed in. When I use MDF, I like to use really coarse. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it's a really coarse wood screw. They work really well. Just don't over tighten them, and you won't strip the MDF out, and they'll hold forever. So now all I'm gonna do is go through and put my caps on like so, and yeah, that part will be done, and start wiring. So I guess I can bring you along for this. These just click in. See, they're just like that. And that's what the back will look like. So it's pretty clean to me. I've got some dirt on here, but and then wires will go in. You know, you have short leads, so it'll look pretty clean. Start getting all the leads put together, and then I'll show you what they look like. We're back again. Let's see here. So this is what my terminals are going to look like. Now this is red, so these are going to be my right channels. So I just used the 1/4 inch heat shrink. Excuse me, cut it in half. And then I just used a torch and got that one a little hot, as you can see, but yeah, just use a torch, heat them up, and shrink them on there. So now I just got to make 8 sets of these. So I'll do, let's see, yeah, 8 sets. So yeah, not too bad, but okay, I'll bring you back when I get them done, and I'll show you how we're going to wire them in. And you know, they're just self-explanatory. They're going to wire in right there on top, so you can see, you know, each one has a tweeter, it has a woofer, and then it has your inputs. So we won't be doing the inputs now because they're already in the truck. So, you know, this is your right, so you'll have, well, it's backwards, sorry. It's hard to hold it with one hand. You'll have red and black for your tweeter, and then red and black for your woofer on all 4 of those. All right, we'll get her done, and I'll let you look. All right, so we got all of our leads made. These are all my right channel leads, and these are all my left channel leads. And now I'm going to wire them in, and I'm going to put them in their according holes. So as we've seen before, tweeter 1, 2, tweeter 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then woofer, 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 woofer. So I'll bring you guys back when I get it wired up. Sorry I don't really have a tripod or anything right now, so you could watch me, but it's going to be boring anyway. So it'll be self-explanatory when I get it done, and I'll bring you back and let you see it. So we're going to look at this real quick. We got her wired up. There's so much dust. It's hard to see, but that's a woofer. And that's a woofer. Right here. And it comes out and it goes over to here. And then the tweeter comes here, and then the tweeter comes here. And it's just the opposite over here because these are offset. They're not left and right. So, see, tweeter goes right into the tweeter hole. This tweeter comes down and goes right in there. Woofer there, and woofer there. So let's flip it over. And this is why I color coordinate mine. So I know I got a left channel, left channel, left channel, left tweeter, right tweeter, right woofer, right woofer. And it just makes that process so much easier. I'm trying to zoom in, zoom out, so it's hard to see it all. But anyway, so right now, basically, I'm going to start putting the drivers in, and I'll take you along with me and show you what's going on.
Every playboy buddy with the bleach blonde hair. chicka wow wow.